So you've been overthrowing your passes or underthrowing your passes and getting picked off if you're on classic passing mode. Well, today's video is for you because I'm going to be breaking down exactly how freeform passing is supposed to be executed in this year's of Madden football, Madden 24. Now, unequivocally, freeform passing is the best way to pass. Classic passing does not give you enough ability to lead the ball. Meaning, if you don't throw it perfectly on the break every single time, you're most likely going to underthrow it and have the defender cut it off on anything where the receiver is running even slightly up the field. So instead of being able to run corner routes, you have to run out routes. And that takes away an ability to get up the field and get more yards and ultimately score more touchdowns. It's just a safer way to play where you're freeforming. And yes, every once in a while you still will overthrow a ball, but it is better to overthrow a ball by a little bit than underthrow a ball by a little bit. And that is a football concept and a football truth that will always remain true, okay? We don't want to be throwing interceptions. We want to be throwing incompletions if they have to be. But most of the time, we're not going to be throwing incompletions. We're going to be throwing hot lasers. So here, let me go into the passing mechanics right here and make sure when we do get into practice mode, you look in the bottom right corner for my specific controller adjustments, so you know exactly what I'm doing when I'm doing it, and you can follow along and do it for yourself, because today is going to need the technical usage of the controller in order to execute the freeform passing with the left stick and the left trigger. But without further ado, let's get into the passing mechanics. This is how you should just copy this and just put your settings exactly like this: passing type, placement, and accuracy. Okay, passing slowdown only applies to offline games, so you can put that on if you want to go into CFM and have it slow down for fun, but don't put that on, man. All right, you gotta, if you want to go offline and practice with this off so you can get it down when you're in a real game. Freeform reticle max distance, put this on near, because if you put this on far, you're going to be throwing a lot, you're going to be overthrowing a lot more passes. Yeah, the default freeform reticle speed is, I think, 7. Back it off to 6, and that should be good. That should be good for 99% of your 95% of your passes, I should say. You still, that last 5% you may overthrow, but like I said, it's better not to tune it down to 5, 4, 3, or whatever, and then you're not really getting a lot of freeform pass, and then you're never overthrowing, but sometimes you're underthrowing. We're good off that. We want to have when it is slightly inaccurate, we want it to be an overthrow. But like I said, about 95% of the time, it will be accurate and in a place where only your receiver can get it, and that's absolutely what we want. Reticle visibility, you should put that on visible so that you can, and the meter visibility, you should put both of those on so that you can see as a user exactly how you're timing things and how you're placing the ball. So you know, hey, if I place that ball, you know, maybe a little too high and it got picked off by a defender who came down on it, say on a corner route, maybe you want to place it a little bit lower. So for example, if I take my controller and I put it up here, like to about this would be 12 o'clock, that would be like 1, 2, 3. If I let it to 1 o'clock and it allowed a defender over top to come down and cut down on a corner route, then maybe I want to try throwing it 3 o'clock with the freeform. That's just an example. What did I just kick? Yeah. All right. So with that being said, let's go get into the practice mode. I'll see you in there. All right, guys, here we are in practice mode. So I'm going to be coming out in, so I'm going to be working out of the Philadelphia Eagles offense, coming out in bunch offset. This is my regular scheme. So I'm just going to show you how I'm going to teach you how to freeform based off of what I'm most comfortable with, and show you some routes that I like to freeform on and use those as examples. So the first one is double post. If we can get them in cover 3, I'll show you what I can freeform over the top. Yes, so I'm going to freeform that B route. So I didn't actually have enough time, but here, let's try that again. Double post. I'm going to freeform that B route. And as you can see, only Marquise Brown can get that ball. And it says great timing, all of that. And if you look on my controller, so go ahead and rewind actually on both plays. If you look on my controller, you can see that I held down left trigger and led the ball at about, I want to say, this is about 9, 10, about 11 o'clock on the controller, okay? So, and when I led it at 11 o'clock with the freeform, instead of so the ball ends up boom right there, right? So the ball ends up getting thrown right here. If I didn't do that, the ball would end up getting thrown without the freeform, would get thrown like somewhere here. And it probably still gets complete, but this guy probably gets the tackle. It's not a touchdown here. And in different situations, this is a very powerful route. But in different situations, oh man, I had Marvin open too. Wow. But in different situations, you're not going to get all this separation. So that much variance in the lead is going to lead to a potential breakup or interception. But in this case, it was the difference. See, look at how he's outstretched. That's a perfect ball. Only he can get that. In this type of situation, and it kind of gives him a speed boost out of that rack animation. And he's not even touched. So in this situation, that's going to be the difference between him getting tackled at the 5 and then us actually just getting off the field and getting a touchdown. So we'll go over the corner route as well. And that's a perfect example. Like every once in a while, you're going to overthrow a ball. But again, damn, I didn't mean to choose a new play. Can I see the instant replay? All right, but what I did here is I pass led actually down, so like 6 o'clock. And I just wanted to get Marvin running flat. Number 18, I wanted to get him running flat. And as you can see, that's why you put it on 6. And yes, you could try it on 5 as well, on the reticle speed, because 5 there was actually going to be a perfect ball. But it's a give and take, because if you're on 5, you maybe don't get that perfect speed boost rack animation for a touchdown on the play before. But this is what we want, guys. If we're going to miss a ball, we want the ball to be missed like that, by like 8 inches or a foot, you know? So let's run it back. Okay. And then I'm gonna and right here is perfect. Is I freeformed it straight down on the left stick. If you go back and look, it's about a 6 o'clock. And essentially you see the reticle. The reticle is pushing him up to like right here before I bring it. So I put it at 6 o'clock so it brings it down to make him run it flat. This defender, if that's a good defender that has a zone KO ability, if you lead it up here, that's for sure not getting a completion. So we're throwing this guy open here versus this zone 1000%. And he actually gets an ability to run after catch. He does step out of bounds, but now just to show you, I'm gonna throw one without freeform. I will throw this without freeforming, okay? And it's gonna be tighter. All right, that's actually a situation where you don't need a freeform because they manned up. Let's see if they will, yeah, if they come out in zone. I'm gonna do it again. And again, freeforming just helps you, look, see? But if I had a freeform, I could freeform that up the field. Give my player more space to make that catch, and that's a freeform right there. All right. So guys, I hope you found today's video helpful. Go practice. It's something you have to practice. You got to get in practice mode, get comfortable with holding the left trigger in while throwing certain balls in certain situations. General rule of thumb for me is anything deeper down the field, I like to freeform in some shape or form. you want to make sure that you're throwing your receivers open, and you want to make sure that you're throwing balls that are very unlikely to be intercepted. I would prefer an incompletion over an interception with a small chance of a completion any day. And some games, I have games where I'm like throwing in these CFMs, I'm throwing, you know, only 5 incompletions, so, and 0 interceptions and like 8 touchdowns, you know, sometimes. So, you know, live to fight another day, learn how to freeform, and just put the time in, put the reps in, and it will help you get better as a Madden player, help you become a much better passer, and you're going to see yourself wanting to run less and less because it is a very powerful dynamic. Or, yes, dynamic. But all right, guys, I'm getting out of here. Make sure you head over to the madden-academy.com to get signed up for your first course today. It's going to get way more in detail and in depth than any one of these videos can get, and it will take your game to the next level the most quick and efficient way in the Madden help community possible. So, looking forward to seeing you on the inside in there, and looking forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, I'm out of here. Peace.